What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another DevPro duel video in ranked, and this time I'm going to be playing with the Amorphage deck again because I apparently just want to punish myself because I really don't enjoy this deck at all, but I'm going to continue to play it because it was so heavily requested, so I'm going to be continuing to play it for at least this video and possibly another one, simply just because I want to give the deck as many chances as it possibly can get in the ranked pool and community to play against something that's one, meta, and then two, potentially have a chance to win against it. So there is that I'm trying to actually achieve, but ultimately, my stance on this deck, if you didn't catch the last video, is that I don't believe this deck is very good at all. I think the deck is actually probably one of the worst options. Now, if you're just trying to be casual and have fun, this deck doesn't even really appeal to that aspect either, simply because the entire aspect of the deck is not allowing your opponent to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the entire deck is a floodgate deck, so there is that. But the problems with this deck still just stem from the fact that if you do not get into any of your cards like Lysis, Infection, or Persona, that you just kind of really just peter out. You don't really have any way to continually get more cards, because every turn that you don't have access into these cards, you're just throwing cards freely away, basically, depending on what your scales are, if you're able to pendulum summon enough resources to keep your scales up every turn, stuff like that, and it becomes an issue. Now, one small thing I want to address is that some people were wondering why I was playing Terraforming into Persona. It's because, you never want to open multiples of this card, absolutely never, but you do want to have the, good chance of seeing it, and so playing 2 Persona and 1 Terraforming allows you to have the option of seeing the Terraforming as the third Persona, and then activating it, and then that takes another copy of Persona out of your deck, i.e., instead of, if this was the third Persona, you would draw it as the Persona, and you still have 2 left in your deck that you would not want to see. But with this sort of just little tweak to the adjustment of the field spell lineup, if you draw Terraforming instead, then you can draw Terraforming, that becomes one of the Personas, and then you only have 1 left in the deck overall to draw into. It just makes the deck function a tiny bit better, even if it's ever so slightly, and I'm surprised that not a lot of people actually understand that little deck building tactic of just, taking a field spell that you don't want to see multiples of, and you just, instead of playing a full play set of it, you play a Terraforming instead. That way you take the field spell out of the deck, an additional copy of it rather, and that, over minor amounts of gameplay will actually affect you in the positive sense. But ultimately, that's enough rambling for this deck. You guys know how it functions. You guys know what it does, and we're just going to jump straight into the game that I'm going to film. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Hopefully we have something that's actually, decent, like a meta deck, preferably. Well, at least I get to go first. That's great. This hand's actually kind of okay, because I can actually set up a scale with Monster Negation and Tribute Negation, and then he can't summon from the extra deck as well, because that's an appropriate scale. And then, yeah, okay, this seems pretty alright. This is actually pretty alright. This would actually be, better with Lechery and maybe, the field spell, but as it stands, this is still kind of alright. So, yeah, what we'll do is we'll activate this in the scale, and then we'll activate this in the scale. And so what we'll do is that we'll then pendulum summon these 2, and then we'll set the scapegoat. Oh, this is a 2, that's right, so I can only pendulum 1. Never mind. So we'll just pendulum this 1, because this is a level 2 for some reason. The levels just don't match in this deck. That's the biggest issue I see with this. But, so this will be here. He can't summon from the extra deck, he can't activate monster effects, he can't tribute summon, he can't tribute monsters except for Amorphage monsters. So depending on what he's playing, seems pretty alright. Okay, we're playing against Burning Abyss. So, playing against Burning Abyss, he can't access the extra deck, so there is that. I'm going to hold down A so that I can just scapegoat and start tributing those off, because I've got 2 scales, so I most definitely want to not tribute this away and turn off my things, because he's got no monster effects, which means he can't establish Dante. He can't summon from the extra deck, which means he can't establish Dante. He can't establish multiple monsters easily, which is going to turn off Fire Lake if that's an option for him. And then based off whatever I draw off of my next card, if it's Greed, it's going to be great. If I draw Greed, that is definitely going to be what I actually let. I'm going to let Wrath die if I draw Greed, and then I'll play Greed, because then I'll get Monster and Trap Negation. So there is that. Now, when the deck actually tries to function, it actually does decent, okay stuff. Maybe, I don't know. It's a big maybe. It's a big maybe point here, because might as well. Okay, well, that's an upstart. And that sucks, because that means I'm going to actually have to tribute my monsters. This has to tribute a monster or destroy this card. It's supposed to be able to allow me to tribute scapegoats. I'm supposed to be able to tribute scapegoats. Why did I have to tribute that first? That's so weird. What? Why did it make me tribute the thing first? That's so confusing to me. That's weird. That's got to be like some sort of coding thing, because that's like it just says tribute a monster. And tokens on the board are considered monsters. That's so weird. Alright. Well, we're just going to summon this. And hopefully we don't get, like, striked. Please, no. Okay, good. Whoa. Got scared for a second there. Alright. So we're going to attack with this. He can't activate monster effects, so this Farfa is actually no threat at all. There is an argument that it's not correct to attack here until we get to one of the things that protects. So, okay, so this he's protecting himself with this. I see. Okay. I see. Alright, well, monster effects still can't be activated. You still can't special summon from the extra deck. So, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm going to hold this in my hand in case I have to kill my scales, or if my scales get killed off. I'm definitely going to hold that. There's really no point to set it, especially since my scales are going to make me tribute it anyway, which is kind of weird. In the fact that it makes me tribute this instead of the tokens first. Like, am I missing something? That's the question I have. Am I missing something? Because it just says tribute one monster or destroy this card. I feel like there's just a coding error in there that makes it to where you have to tribute these first. I don't see why there should be a thing. Oh, he's got Fog Blade. Okay, so he does get to summon Dante here. But he doesn't get to use its effect. He doesn't get to use any of their effects. So he can summon Dante, but it's tiny. Make Dante, please. Oh, he made it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know that Gluttony is here. Alright. Monster effect negation is OP. It's the best one. This and Gluttony, Lechery, and Greed are the three best ones, hands down. Especially because Greed is a 3 scale, so it combos well with Gluttony and Lechery. If you put up Lechery Greed or Gluttony Greed, like, you can Pendulum Summon each turn, and you have a lockdown on 2 of the most important aspects of this card game that exists. A third aspect, if you consider the no special from extra thing. Okay, so he's summoning Beatrice here. All right, I can respect it. So he's going to be able to attack this, and oh, he's attacking it. Why? Why Scapegoat? Oh, I see. Well, I'm just going to tribute this next turn. I'm just going to tribute it off for this and then pendulum it back out. So your Fog Blade actually means nothing. So there is that. And also, this is still alive. So that'll happen. Tribute monster, yes. We'll do this. And then we'll just go ahead and immediately special summon it back. And then I'm also going to set the Gluttony. At least I think I have to. I think I have to set this Gluttony. This is bad. Because these are both capable of just dying, which is an issue because I can't really get over this Beatrice right now because I don't have any of my infections. I don't have anything like that. I've special summoned this turn, so I can't card Car. Oh, this is getting worse by the second. So what we'll do is we'll just set these and we'll pass. Because if my board space opens up, I would definitely love to Scapegoat and keep these things up. Most definitely. And he can't activate monster effects, so he has to Beatrice attack over this in order to start dealing with any of my things. And I don't know why Pendulum didn't attack mode. I actually probably should just put it in defense mode. Like, that seems like to be the best of the scenarios. But yeah, Beatrice can attack over this, which will shut these off. Which will then mean that I'll have to tribute both of these next turn. Unless he summons another monster, in which case, okay, he's summoning Tour Guide. He gets no effect, so there's that. Misplaced for days. He should have attacked this with Beatrice, and then main phase 2 summon Tour Guide. We're not thinking here. Who needs to think? I'm playing BAPK, right? Playing Phantom Knight Burning Abyss. The deck doesn't require thought, or so people try to say. Like, I do think the BA deck is absolutely, like, ridiculous. Like, the BA deck has to have something done to it. It has to. Like, the deck has been around for way too long. The deck has the potential to win Nationals 2 years in a row. Like, that's a problem. Burning Abyss variants are crazy. These cards are such good power, have such a strong power level of what they are. Okay, so he's attacking that. He's attacking this. He's going to attack my either face down or my scapegoat token. He's attacking the scapegoat token. Okay, so in phase, I'll flip my scapegoat. That way I have more fodder for these goddamn scales. I don't have any cards that are actually yielding me advantage. I don't have infection. I don't have infection. I don't have persona. I don't have the trap card. I don't have any of these cards. Shit. But alright, so he's detaching Farfa off Beatrice, which I find interesting. He's choosing to use his effect now. And so, as long as I can keep this game going at my own pace, i.e. like drawing into more pendulum monsters and keep being able to pendulum summon them and walling him out of his effects for the foreseeable future, then I could potentially just stall this game out until I start gaining my advantage cards, because like that could be a potential thing. Okay, so he sent that to grave. He's Farfa banishing this. So what's going to happen here is that he's going to be able to summon a Dante, which is actually not good for me at all. Not good in the slightest, because he's going to be able to summon a Dante here. But honestly, actually, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad at all, strictly because, like I said, if I keep drawing pendulum monsters, I can keep walling him out. And so from there, things should be okay. No, I don't want to activate it now. Stop asking. He's going to attack me with that. Do I want to activate it now, or do I care about that 1,000? I'd rather actually just save it, because what's going to happen here is that I'm going to probably just summon this card next turn, which means that I'm going to have 2 scapegoat tokens left, which means that's going to be what prevents me from dying, possibly. And then, Break Sword. Ooh, Break Sword is going to go up to 3k, and then it can pop cards. Yes, I'd love to activate this. 100% love to activate this card right now. Thank you. So, these will be tributed. It's going to make me tribute this one first, unfortunately. Pendulum Reborn, that's actually not bad. That is actually very good. Oh, if it's not a face-up Amorphage monster, it lets me tribute anything. That is so bizarre. I cannot understand what's going on here with this. But, as it stands, I've got a Pendulum Reborn, which means I can just set it and I can get access to this next turn. So I'm going to flip this up, so now he can't activate any of these, because like Farfaing away the card would be a problem for me, you know. I don't care about the damage I'm about to take from this, because he's got a 3k Break Sword in that. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to normal summon this, and I'm going to set this Pendulum Reborn, because then what's going to happen here is that I'm going to get this attacked over in his battle phase, and then he's going to attack one of my scapegoat tokens, and then I'm going to be able to Pendulum Reborn special this before he ends his battle phase. What? Oh my god, I cannot activate this card because of Gluttony. That is a fucking treat. That almost never comes up, and I have forgotten all about it. Okay, so plan B. Plan B is just to sit here and draw cards. That's the plan. That's the plan we have. He can attack both of my Pendulum monsters. I'm fine with that. He's more likely to attack the card potentially just because these are both in attack mode, and I can get easily punished for that, which is a problem. That dies. You know, this doesn't negate your continuous effects. This negates just your activated effects. So he's going to be stuck with these two until he starts getting into more of his Phantom Knights. That was a huge mistake on my part. I can't believe I didn't actually take that into account. I can't believe I actually forgot about that. Like, God. Alright. So, this attacks that, which is okay. Sure. And then, his Beatrice and his Break Sword get to attack these. And then I get to Pendulum Reborn, which prevents him from using his effects. So, this is terrible. This is terrible for me. I don't think I can actually win this game unless I actually start drawing into something like Infection. Oh, he's doing it during the battle phase. What a fucking cheese. Let's see. What a fucking cheesy duelist. Alright. He's playing it actually well, and that makes me sad. That makes me sad, in that he's made a couple of misplays, but he's still playing well, and I haven't drawn into any of my extra cards. Any of my cards that give me extra cards. So after starting out really strong, I could just flounder out here because of the fact that I can't do anything. Oh no. And then that's going to add back his Seer. Yeah, sure. Fine. Take it. Have it. Enjoy it. Man, he's doing all of this in the battle phase. He's legitimately just so happy that he gets to activate things that he's just like going for it. And that's the problem with this deck, is that if someone knows what they're doing, they will just do this shit. Like, I'm in a position where I can't activate Pendulum Reborn because he still hasn't attacked with this. And so if I did, he would just attack over the monster that I summon anyway. So, there's that. Why do you attack that instead of the card car? Interesting. Why are you just not attacking the card car? Is there something I'm missing here? Potentially. But still, why are you not attacking the card car? Odd. Into battle phase? Yes. I have to do this now. Just so that he doesn't get to use Break Sword's ability, because that's going to be a pain in the ass. And I don't want to deal with it. Not in any form or function. And all these games are incredibly slow, too. That's another reason that this deck is kind of is that all these games are incredibly slow. When you're actually trying to function, the games just do not go by fast. And that's what makes it horrible for recording. So there is that. But, so even though he's made a couple minor misplays in the form of summoning the tour guide before he killed my monster in battle, stuff like that, he's still in a position where he's just ahead of me because I'm not drawing into any of my cards. Like, if I'd had Infection or the Trap card throughout this, I could have easily just been cycling through cards, gotten into a better position, all that stuff. But as it stands, yeah, I'm still just not drawing anything. This is a problem. This is such a problematic situation. And I opened so well for, like, dealing with his deck. Like, Monster Effect Negation, and, like, the only thing that would have made it better is if I had, like, Greed. Because then Greed would have prevented, like, these from activating. But otherwise, like, damn. Damn, son. Like, I'm in a situation where I can't win. I literally cannot win now because I'm really low. So I'm going to get punched out next turn. So there's that. So, yeah, we'll set these and we'll pass. Because I'm just floundering out. My deck, my engine isn't functioning. I made a minor misplay there. Well, actually, not even minor. Pretty goddamn major. But there was no way that I could actually do that and play around the fact that he had a Beatrice with a Farfa under it. And, like, even if he didn't have the Farfa under it, he had one in his deck. Because, like, you know, you play multiples of those because it's one of the best BAs to use with Beatrice. So there's that. And so, yeah, so now he's just going to Farfa this away and attack me directly for these two for game. And then this gets to bring back Dante. So yeah, this is just 100% over for me. Cannot win. Cannot win. This deck is absolutely very, very questionable in terms of, oh, he's doing Libic? Why not Farfa? Why not Farfa? Do you have a Farfa in your... No? Are you going to bring back Farfa off the Seer? Why not bring back Dante and then send Farfa? I'm so confused. Yeah, why? What's in your hand that you'd Libic out that's more valuable than having a Dante on the board? A Seer? Okay, well, I guess that is a Dante if it dies. And it does have more attack, but, like, weird. Alright, I mean, it's not incorrect, but I would value the Dante more than the Seer. I would like to keep that Seer for later, because once that Dante dies, you're just going to start looping back Seers. Whereas in this situation, if you brought back the Dante and it died, then you'd be able to get back a different BA, and then, you know, you have more options available to you. That's just me. That's just me objectifying the situation in my own mindset. But, anyway, I think this Amorphage deck is absolutely, one of the worst things that I've ever played, because it can start moving, and it can start doing things very well and very efficiently. But the problem is, when you don't draw into the right cards, you don't have a consistency card. You don't have any, like, extra consistency cards, because, like I said in the previous video, Konami really can't give those to this deck. Otherwise, it just will, like, literally potentially end the game, because everybody hates floodgates. And, like, this is a deck that contains every floodgate known to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like, that's actually, that would actually be a very, very big problem if they gave this deck any sort of consistency cards. The consistency cards we have access to are things like Drake Connection, Ties of Brethren, and stuff like that, which Ties of Brethren isn't even like a consistency card. It's just like an extra, like, oh, I'm getting more monsters card, which actually is pretty decent in its own right because it does fuel your extra deck, but, like, still, it's kind of odd. But otherwise, like, yeah, I just don't think this deck is anywhere near what it needs to be to even be a playable deck. Like, it's playable, yes, it functions, sort of, kinda, yes, but it's on the consistency level of something from, like, 2004. Like, where it literally has, like, one search card and that's it. Like, it's kind of very, very subpar. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to all the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description of my Facebook and Twitch links if you want to check those out. That's what they're there for. If you want to send a deck for me to play potentially on these videos, then send it to my Facebook fan page, the link that was in the description. If it's something that piques my interest, catches my eye or anything, or I think is really interesting, then I will potentially play it for these videos. Stuff like that. But otherwise, if you want to support me, clicking ads on my videos is the best way to support me, and honestly, it just helps out more than I can ever express. And it would just be really cool of you if that's something you could take the time out of your day to do. But other than that, that's it for this video, and as always, guys, take care.